There we are.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good. How things been since the last time we talked?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Busy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, thanks for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. Just really want to just ask kind of questions about how your experience was and kind of talk to me about like where were you at before you decided to start working with us?
So before I started working with you guys, I had been doing Orange Theory and had been doing that for like probably about a year. And then when we were living on the west side of town, then when we moved to the east side of town, there really wasn't one close by. So I just kind of stopped going. So I think I probably had really stopped consistently going for the last like 2 months, I think, before I started and joined with you guys.
Okay. And what made it a challenge for you to be able to do stuff on your own?
Motivation.
Yeah.
Motivation. And I liked not having to think about it. So just having to show up and then having somebody else have the game plan. I didn't have to worry about like if it was full body workout or what, if I was getting enough cardio or anything like that, like somebody else just did it for me.
Okay. And were you
Yeah.
skeptical before starting to work with us?
Um, Not really, but I also just like I love with exercise and anything, like I will try any class and I've probably taken every class at least once.
Okay.
So like I'll try anything.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say your biggest breakthrough moment was working with us?
Probably there's been a couple, but I think like before I started working with you guys and I was working out at home a little bit, like I had bought 10-pound dumbbells and then I like realized with the everything going on and everything being shut down and we're working out at home and I was like, these are just not enough. Like I have to get bigger ones. And I remember when I first got them, like they were a struggle to do most of the exercises with. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get past that. And
Yeah.
then being like, yeah, and 20s, 25s, those would be good.
That's awesome. How about for
Yeah. And then I
nutrition?
think I was gonna say my other like breakthrough though is just like um after having been and just being able to like that just be in shape for having birthing a child and then also just like afterwards bounce I guess I bounced back is pretty quickly
Yeah.
afterwards and I never like because I worked up until my due date so like
Yeah, you
just,
worked
I was
all the
super
way up
prepared
until
for
your due
that.
date.
Yes. Yeah. So just being like super prepared for that and feeling like yeah, like that wasn't that bad.
Good. And like, did you learn some things nutritionally that you hadn't learned before, you didn't know about before?
I think for me, it was mainly just getting rid of the all or nothing mentality and just kind of figuring out how to make it just like part of your day.
Yeah.
So it's not really like a fad diet or like you're never going to eat the foods that you love again. You're going to figure out a way to do it either in moderation, preparing the rest of your meals to like complement that meal. And that if it's off one day, it's off one day, and you just go to the next.
Absolutely.
Like,
Well, yeah, you and Sean both picked up on that really, really quickly and learned that really well. And so that what would you say your biggest struggle with nutrition was in the beginning?
just figuring out like what to eat. For me, it was protein based. I don't eat a lot of protein typically.
Yeah,
So figuring out like some with you figuring out some like swaps that I could do to just add a little bit of protein here and there
sure.
was helpful because we're not huge meat eaters. Like and so figuring out kind of just some other options or other foods. Um, so I could still eat what I wanted. I was just getting protein.
Sure. And did you have any, like, what limitations kind of made it a struggle with you with nutrition, and were you able to overcome those?
um, I think part of the struggle that I'd had previously was just getting on the same page with Sean as far as what we were eating. So us doing this together was super helpful because we both had kind of the same goals and the same kind of plan, I guess. And then just with like knowing that just some of the foods my body doesn't love
Sure.
and trying to figure out kind of workarounds for that.
Okay. And so did you have like, if you could give like an example of, or talk about your specific results you got from working with us?
I am definitely a lot stronger. I came in with like a lot of injuries, and just kind of like nagging pains that didn't go away that are now a lot better. So I had been in a car accident several years ago and had like shoulder pain pretty much consistently since then. And after working with you guys, it's definitely decreased and the frequency of it's decreased.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same with like my knees. I had a lot of knee injuries. Like working on strengthening the muscles and that kind of stuff definitely helped.
Yeah.
Like give me a more solid base, and so I don't injure myself going forward.
And what about like your experience when you were going through your pregnancy and post-pregnancy? Like, did you notice something different that maybe like when you learned to eat working with it or exercising around it and so that, what was that like for you?
First off, everyone was super amazed. But no, I honestly, I was really, really tired through most of my pregnancy, and like exercise was kind of one of the things that helped keep that away because I was still getting those endorphins from that. So I was able to kind of use it that way.
Yeah.
The other thing was I just didn't really have a lot of aches and pains. I was able to uh, the nutrition, we, still kept on the macros, and I didn't gain a ton of weight, and most of it was gone in the first 2 weeks after
Yeah.
I gave birth. So I feel like all of that just kind of played into like having a really healthy pregnancy, having a healthy birth, and having a really giant healthy child.
Well, you did a great job through your whole pregnancy and so that, I mean, still staying with your exercise and your nutrition through it and post, you did an amazing job with it. I was super
Thank you.
impressed with your whole process through it. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
It was almost defiant in a way because people were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you are doing that." And I was like, "Well, then I'm going to keep doing it."
Just kept encouraging you to keep going forward. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Makenzie, if you could like recommend this program for anyone, who would you recommend this for?
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you it again because I don't know if I got it or not. But so if you were to recommend this program to anyone, who would you recommend it to?
I think it works best for people who are willing to just kind of make it part of their life. So it's not going to be it's not like a fad, lose 10 pounds, but gain it back next week. It's just kind of like modeling a lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, who can't benefit from a little bit of a healthier lifestyle?
Absolutely. Well, cool. Well, Makenzie, thank you again so much for doing this for me. I really appreciate it. And it's always been a pleasure working with us. And if you ever have any questions or anything in the future, do let me know, okay?
Oh, for sure. You're not rid of me yet.
Good.